Greetings once again, Padawan. I see that you are here again. You have been studying very hard for a long time. I see that you've become much stronger and more focused with the Force. I'm happy to hear that. But it is time for your next lesson. As you know, the Jedi Code is as follows. There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is the Force. Today we will be looking at knowledge versus ignorance. Do not be afraid to admit when you are ignorant of a subject. Oftentimes our own fears are wrapped up in what we do not know. Learning to let go, learning to accept knowledge is difficult, and oftentimes we may find ourselves believing that we know all, or know all in a situation, and that can lead to problems. We must open our minds and our hearts to the Force. Come. Let us begin our meditation. Start by taking a couple of deep breaths. Good, young Padawan. Find yourself relaxing. Notice your surroundings gently beginning to fade in the distance as you focus on your breathing. Notice the sounds and sensations of your own breathing. Let all else fall away as you maintain your focus. Let your body naturally relax. Good. And as you fall deeper into your relaxation, noticing the tension leaving your body, turn your mind's eye inward, maintaining your breathing. As you get more and more relaxed and comfortable, allow your breathing to return to normal. As the focus of our guided meditation today will be on ignorance versus knowledge, open your mind to the world around you. Do not seek to control it. Merely notice it. Look for the sounds that you might have initially pushed away. If you're outside, what other things do you hear beyond the normal noises? What do you feel? Can you feel the wind? Can you feel the warmth of the sun? Or perhaps you might feel the cold night air. If you're indoors, do you hear the ticking of a clock? or perhaps you hear the sounds of an AC unit. These things are part of our normal everyday life, and oftentimes we ignore them for good reason. But let us think for a moment. How much do we know of how the world runs? How much do we know about the cycles? Do not be afraid to admit that you do not know how everything runs. There will always be mystery in life, mystery of how things run. It is not within our control, nor should we ever try to control what we do not know. Understand that ignorance is a lack of knowledge, and we will forever have an ignorance of the world around us, for the galaxy is large, and there is no possible way to know everything. But by leaving an open mind, we leave ourselves flexible to know the will of the Force. You may not need to know exactly how a thing works to utilize it. For example, your breathing right now, through your lessons, has taught you to relax and meditate. This deepens and strengthens your relationship with the living force and within yourself. Notice as you bring yourself back to your awareness of your own body. Pay attention to what you now know of yourself, things that you may not have recognized beforehand. Knowledge of ourselves creates better control of our emotions and behaviors. It is right and necessary for us to feel certain emotions. That is unstoppable. The more we are able to recognize our emotions, the better we are able to remain at peace within ourselves. And that peace we can give to others. But to deepen our knowledge of the Force, we must know ourselves. Know what gives you peace, and what troubles your peace. In this moment, let nothing trouble you. Returning to our lesson prior, you know that you can return to this space, this moment. If ever our ignorance leads us to fear, find that inner peace. Let that guide you to open yourself, not to being afraid of what you cannot know, but accepting that you do not know, but can learn from the experience. It is the Jedi way not to try and control a situation, but to learn from it. Not to control others, but to guide them to their own wisdom and their own knowledge. Take your own experiences. Look back at your previous lessons and your previous life experiences. And once again, notice how much you've grown and changed. Many who live in ignorance allow fear to govern their lives, looking at our past histories. Notice what you can learn from this, what mistakes we can avoid. Ground yourself in the concept that you may not know all things, but by opening yourself up to learning, you have given yourself a greater opportunity to grow. Take these next few moments, Padawan, and examine what ignorance feels like, looks like. Do not be afraid of noticing the pattern of fear, but allow yourself to overcome it. And notice how you, in your time, have learned to overcome fear by opening yourself up to new ideas. We know, as Master Yoda has once said, that fear leads to anger, which leads to hate, which leads to suffering. And so, we must let go of our fear. This is where we find our peace. Oftentimes, others may find anger in not being able to know the truth or know how to control a situation. Do not let this trouble you. Let the Force guide you. Do not fear others because they are different. Our path is not the only path in life. And when you are willing to accept this, willing to accept the foibles of others, as well as yourself, you will be secure in the knowledge that the Force will guide you and keep you safe. All things are as they need be, as they will be. It is not ours to dictate how it must go. Nor, too, are we incapable of making change, both in our lives and the lives of others. You will find the wisdom to know when to intervene and when not to. But for now, focus on accepting that which is beyond control. You will be a living tool of the Force, guided by it, guiding others to it. While we are protectors, and that will never change, ours is not to dictate how others should live. As you focus on these concepts, reflect on them. Reflect on your role within the Force. Open yourself to the Force and the knowledge it will guide you to. And be ready to overcome ignorance and fear. It will take time and patience, but as you reflect and notice when you are afraid, when you notice when you are ignorant, when you do not know a thing or do not have an answer, learn to quiet yourself and your mind. Return first to your peace and listen to the will of the Force. Now, taking your time, let us return back to the current situation and awaken to the moment we are here, right now. Notice your surroundings, notice your body, and reawaken when you are ready. Excellent job, young Padawan. You are learning quickly. Do not be afraid to open yourself to questions, and to question the things around you. Questions are never a bad thing. It is how we learn. When you learn to let go of the fear of looking foolish, for example, and ask whatever questions necessary, you have found the first step in accepting knowledge over ignorance. Go, young Padawan. Reflect on that lesson as we practice and begin our training. Hello, everyone. I kind of forgot that May the 4th was going to be a Thursday, and I really wanted to get something out for y'all. This was an attempt at an unscripted meditation. I want to thank you all very much for listening, and I hope this was enjoyable, at least relaxing, and maybe a little helpful for you. In the meantime, May the 4th be with you, and I'll see you, hopefully, in the next one. Sweet dreams and pleasant nightmares.